Hi there everyone. Welcome to Body Language Interpreted. Aman here. Let's have a look at Jaya Bachan and her rapport with the paparazzi. Jaya Bachan has had a complex rapport with the paparazzi over the years. While she has displayed irritation towards photographers, especially when caught off guard, there have been other instances where she has engaged positively with them. On many occasions, Jaya has expressed displeasure towards shutterbugs, particularly when they intrude into her personal life. She has been seen scolding them for calling her name or being too loud. She is known to dislike being photographed unexpectedly, especially during private outings, and has reprimanded the paparazzi for being disrespectful and ill-mannered. She has expressed displeasure when media personnel have invaded her personal space. Mrs. Bachan has been vocal about her dislike, stating, "I despise people who interfere in your personal life and fill their stomachs by selling those products. I hate it." Let's have a look at Jaya at a Mumbai college fest in 2016.
We can't even see the audience.
वाला लाइट बंद कर दीजिए, ये बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है।
So, first and foremost, I have to tell you guys that you all are extremely fortunate that Jaya had a conversation with me, because anybody who knows Jaya even remotely will
Put
tell
your
you.
mobile down. I can't see, you're flashing it right into my eye.
Jaya Bachan was adjusting her sari at one point and pulling on her blouse at another. Adjusting one's clothes whilst interacting with others can send non-verbal signals of nervousness or power play. She was either self-conscious or feeling uncomfortable in her surroundings. This display of anxiety is often seen during interviews, public speaking, or when someone feels judged. Jaya can be seen adjusting the pullu of her sari to make it neat numerous times during her time on stage. This is often seen in high-status individuals as a means of taking control of the room. Her stern face, notably in the form of tight lips, a steady gaze and jaw tension, typically conveys seriousness, disapproval, or authority. She demonstrated a self-regulation mechanism with her hands to manage negative emotions such as frustration and anger. She pointed at someone in the audience, and this is generally seen as aggressive, assertive, or accusatory depending on the context. The context here was that she felt she was in authority and was commanding the audience member to turn the light off, pointing out it was too strong. Jaya went from pointing at the person and changing that pointing hand into a closed fist. I have already mentioned that the pointing was accusatory and commanding attention. Combined with the fist, this signaled rising tension and frustration. It can also be seen as a dominance display or a way to assert power. As the journalist seated beside her started with introductions, Jaya was fiddling with her ear, a subtle body language cue whereby the person is self-soothing, often seen when someone feels uncomfortable, unsure, or anxious. She starts to gesture no by shaking her finger to scold or correct someone in the audience. She pouted her lips, which exaggerated her disapproval. The squinting of the eyes was probably Mrs. Bachan emphasizing the bright light she was complaining about.
So, anybody who has known Jaya ji even remotely will tell you that it's not very easy to get her. So, I think you guys can clap for yourself.
And rectify them. Please stop taking pictures. I hate it because it's right into my eye. आप या तो यहाँ आ जाइए, एकदम मेरे सामने बैठ के फोटो खींचिए. These are basic manners we Indians have to learn. Just because you have a camera, you have a mobile, you have the freedom to take anybody's picture, anytime, without asking that person. These are basic educations that all colleges and schools and parents at home should teach their children. It's very annoying. I have a freedom to say no to being photographed. I'm trying to chat here, you're sitting right in front of me, clicking right into my eyes.
Jaya Bachan's death stare was intense and unmistakable. It was her non-verbal way of saying, "I'm extremely angry, you've messed up, or don't test me." A death stare followed by adjusting of clothing is a powerful combo in body language, and it says a lot without a single word. It adds a layer of composure to the interaction used to signal disgust or contempt. It becomes a way to refocus oneself, brushing off the other person's presence. Jaya altered the way she was sitting, and this was confidence-reclaiming behavior sometimes demonstrated after being challenged or embarrassed, a way of centering oneself. The pulling or pinching of her nose with her thumb and index finger could have been a self-soothing gesture or a sign of internal frustration or stress. It may have been a way of subconsciously trying to release tension. The twitching of the nose and lips to the side reflected disgust or irritation, giving off that Jaya did not like what was happening at all. As she continued with her spiel, beginning with "please stop taking pictures," what was observed was rapid head movement, and this can reflect heightened emotions like frustration or disbelief. The head movements might occur subconsciously when the speaker is particularly passionate about the topic, which I believe Jaya was. Her hand gestures revealed an emphasis on something important to her. She was reinforcing what she was saying, as well as a desire to stop, reject, or push something away. The chopping downward hand movement served as a powerful nonverbal signifying authority, decisiveness, and emphasis. Caution is required with this gesture as it can be perceived as aggressive and forceful. Jaya proceeded to talk about herself whilst pointing towards her chest area. This suggested a deep connection with the topic or as a self-soothing mechanism in response to emotional stress. For Mrs. Bachan, I believe it was both resonance with her statements and pacifying her emotions.
Very bad. I hate indiscipline.
Light change.
I agree.
Wide now.
आप फोटो खींच लीजिए फिर मैं बात फिनिश as much as you want बनाएं.
उसका उस पे ध्यान.
Tell me when you finish and then I'll
आग लगी है. बाइट उठ नहीं आ रही है. दादा दादा फिर वो लाइट दादा लाइट येलो रखना अपना वाइट रखना वाइट येलो मत रखना.
can't see anybody.
अब मैं कुछ बोलने वो चेंज कर.
Can we start?
मुझे कुछ नहीं.
You started wrong. This is one reason why I never ever go to such functions. Because I'm an extremely outspoken person. I say what I see and what I feel.
The hand gesture that Jaya Bachan showed as she stated "very bad, I hate indiscipline," was the universal sign for stop or pause, often used to assert control, set boundaries, or signal no more or that's enough. She did not like the way this event was panning out, and it seemed to be becoming intolerable for her. After Jaya said something along the lines of "you take the photo," the unblinking locked eyes meant intimidation or judgment. She shook her head as she spoke, indicating she could not believe someone still tried to take her photo despite everything she just said about herself. The key features of her death stare were a direct piercing gaze with no looking away, tight lips and no smile. The frown and pursed lips convey she found something or someone beneath her. The staring intensely with hardly any blinking, while one hand gripped the wrist of the other, created the highly charged and intense atmosphere she was portraying as she waited. A power dynamic was in play with the stare to assert she was in control of the situation. Even though Jaya was staring in one direction, she glanced over at someone else, probably the person who could be heard mumbling, mocking, and laughing at her. I have studied Jaya Bachan's baseline, and she generally has a miserable or grouchy expression on her face. Somehow, she managed a smile before she asked, "Can we start?" A smile immediately after an intense moment can be a striking and powerful shift. It can be considered a psychological play to mask her true feelings, possibly to cover up emotions or, as I believe in Jaya's case, superiority. The holding up of her hand in resignation typically reveals a sense of defeat, giving up or acceptance of an inevitable situation, and she confirmed this by saying, "We started wrong." Overall, it was obvious that Mrs. Bachan felt the fest was not worth her time or effort and had turned out to be a negative experience, she regretted attending. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. For more content like this, please do like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, farewell.